What's up everybody, Peter McKinnon here. Welcome back to yet another video. Today, we're talking about the tool that I use most in my life right now. I bring it everywhere. It goes home every day. It comes back to the studio every day. It's in every bag that I use, from bag to bag to bag. It travels with me. Sometimes I just carry it, hand bomb it, just raw, to the car, back, everywhere. And I've had so many questions about it since it appeared in one of my videos, and I briefly talked about it. Quite frankly, I'm tired of answering DMs and questions, so I'm just gonna make this video because I'm stoked, and obviously you are too. This pencil case. It's a pencil case. It's kind of like a bag. There's pockets. There are all kinds of things in it. It's my favorite thing. It's literally the greatest thing I've bought in 2025. I'm a big lover of gear. I'm a big lover of accessories, of bags and packs and ways to organize things. This kind of checks every box for me across multiple interests, and I want to share it with you. It's a leather and canvas, waxed canvas wrap for artists. Paintbrushes, pens, pencils, zippered pouches for whatever kind of accessories or trinkets you want to carry around, notebooks, journaling, paper, organization, meetings, notes, shot lists, everything that I need, love, and am interested in and use on a daily basis. It's beautifully made. Waxed canvas is such an incredible product that just gets better as you use it. You can sometimes re-wax it too if it starts to, typically that's for jackets, and you would re-wax them if it wore off, and you would want that because it's water repellent. So this isn't ever getting rained on, so I don't need to re-wax it unless I wanted the vibe to be stronger. But look at the patina on the back of this is a vibe. Like, it is so hard to find products sometimes that both meet an aesthetic and are equally useful. Those two things sometimes don't come hand in hand. Either you have something that has a great aesthetic, but it's not useful at all, it's useless. Sometimes you have something that's beautifully made and it's very useful, but the aesthetic is just zero. This seems to check every box for me, every box. And every time I bust this out, be it that it's in a cafe or at an airport, on a plane, in my office, sitting on my desk, when people come by my house, everyone's always like, what the heck is that? What is that thing? And I start to show them and they're like, link me. Link me immediately. Right off the hop, I am not sponsored by the company that makes this. They did not ask me to make this. They are not paying me to make this. I purchased this, scouring the internet to find a solution. I did, and I love it so much that I wanted to make this video today. So this is made by a company called Peg and All. Peg and All. It's called the Sundac. I later learned that's the name of somebody that probably inspired this product. We could probably look into that after. It's got a big badge on the front. When I made the video about tracking my habits and we talked about notebooks, which was very popular, I gave this patch quite a hard time. I don't love it. It's the only negative on this whole thing, but it affects the product 0%. It affects my life 0%. Moving on. I'm gonna use a top-down angle as well for this, that you can get the best view as I try to show you everything that I have inside this, the things that I have inside it, some details about those things inside, and how they help my creative life every single day. I can honestly say this is a tool that is now imperative to my everyday. I would be distraught if I lost it or didn't have it. It's as equally handy and necessary as my camera. They go hand in hand together. I need my camera and I need my Sundac. I need this package and I need my camera. Those two things, I'm good. And a coffee. A coffee would be great. I should grab one right now because I'm running low. Let's open this bad boy. So you'll see it's got this strap that runs all the way around it to keep it very tight. You don't have to pack this thing. You can have just a few things in it and it's like an amoeba of shapes. This thing is a shape shifter. That would have been a great name, shape shifter. Because you can stuff this thing to the brim. You can have it packed very, very flat because this strap is so long and adjustable. You could stack 4 more notebooks in here and really send it to the moon, but that would just be crazy. I wouldn't do that. You could. I wouldn't do it. I might, I won't, maybe. Opening this up, this comes out and then it unrolls kind of like a tool roll, like a chef knife roll, or you've seen plenty of products like that over the years. But it's nice because you do have pens in here and you do have stuff in here. Typically, if you were to roll a canvas wrap or roll something like this, all the items roll onto themselves, and I hate that. Stuff scratches, I hate the sound, nothing should touch anything else that's in here. So some of the items in here I do want to protect and I do want to take care of, and I don't want them to get ruined. So I like that this flap comes down, protects everything. So when you roll it, nothing is actually touching each other, which is right off the bat, a great feature. So let's make sure that is unrolled. Now, quick housekeeping right here, zippered pouch here, all kinds of pens and pencils, slots here. Some you can double up. Then there's slots behind. This is a slimmer one. This is a little bit of a bigger one, same size, and a bit of a slimmer one. Then on the back, if you were to look here, you've got a large pouch on both sides. So you could keep 2 notebooks in this if you had a system for one was tracking your habits and the other was for notes and journals and shop lists and things you want to film and things you want to make and draw and whatever. But right now I've only got the one going on that side. So that is what it looks like on the back. Flip that over and let me show you what goes on in here that I transfer to here. We'll start with the zippered. No, we'll save that for last. You saw a little bit of that in the intro. This zippered pouch gets kind of nerdy, so we'll start with this. A straight edge. You need a straight edge. If I want to divide the day into chunks, split a page in half, you need a ruler. This is a bit of a recent addition. I haven't used it as much yet because I keep this like old school fake, kind of like plasticky baggage tag that I've had forever. There was a company called the Traveler's Company, and they made something called the Midori, or maybe their company name was Midori, and either way, they did this like fake Pan Am thing. And it was cool, and I've had this forever, but like I use this as a straight edge because that slides into my field notes, which goes also in this pocket. Look at that fit. I wanna make sure we got a good top down on that. This pocket fits a field notes as if field notes made this whole roll. Unbelievable. So the field notes slides in there perfectly, and this little straight edge card I usually just keep in the back pocket. And those things go together. Nerdy, but I love it, and that way I don't have to carry a ruler around. There's a ruler on the back of this, there's a grid on the back of this. I can use it as blotting paper. Sometimes if I stick pictures or other things in the journal, when you write on the next page, I hate when the pen bumps over that and then goes through the page, so I stick this behind to help for like a backing card. So honestly, quite handy. I don't know if they still make these, but you could probably find something that you could either cut to size or find something on Amazon, or just look up Traveler's Company and see if they have some kind of like plastic backing card. But that is honestly very, very useful. And I keep it with the field notes. So this recently has turned into more of a to-do list. Every single day, I get a stamp. Got my drawers here. This little thing, and I set the date, and then I stamp the date onto my field notes page. This was just Amazon, but that's been really fun. I stamp it onto the page, and I keep this on my desk open with a pen in it, and I go down the list all day. Make a thumbnail, film this video, title and thumbnail it if you have time, drink lots of water. Not doing a great job today. Won't be scratching that one off the list. This is handy. Anytime I can pull it out and just flip over, check the date, and see what I'm supposed to be doing or what's left or what I've crushed, which is usually not the case. Usually leaving items. But that fits perfectly into this sleeve. Like that makes me so happy. The joy that brings me is immense. On this side, it's exactly the same as the field notes, but I just keep like a little paper folder. And in this paper folder, I got some pictures of the kids, some Polaroids. I won't show you those. I got the insurance for my truck and the registration because, like I said, this goes everywhere with me. I don't like keeping that kind of stuff in my wallet because I just have like 2 cards in my wallet, as small as possible. EDC update video coming next. Stay tuned. And then I've got some business cards in here and other little things. So if there's like stuff that I need that's small like this and I don't want to put it in my wallet, I know I'm going to lose it. I know that if it goes into this little folder and then that goes into my roll, my Sundac here, I know that's, like, I just know where it is. It's never gonna get lost. I might forget about it, but it's never gonna get lost. That's that pocket. Little misc items, misc things. Stickers. I put stickers in there a lot too, because I get a lot of stickers. When you buy stuff online or people send me stickers, and I've got a bunch on my laptop, and sometimes if I have some really cool ones I don't wanna stick just yet, I need to know where I'm gonna put them, I need a plan, they go in the folder. In the very last pocket, I keep my 3 favorite fountain pens, and we'll talk about these in a sec. I'm not gonna talk about them right now, but these are my three favorite pens. And fountain pens are historically expensive. I think if you were to add all of these up, it's $200 for all 3 of these, which is a great value. And I use them all the time. And proof that I use them all the time is literally the bottle of ink that's sitting in frame on the desk right now. This is my favorite ink from Mont Blanc, and it was a limited edition. They don't even make it anymore, which I'm gonna have to like find more on eBay because I use that much of it. But it's like a limited edition JFK blue. Like it's just such it dries so beautifully. I'm nerd alert, dude. I'm telling you this, like I'm in deep. You see filmmaker Pete, you see Pete's Pirate Life, photography Pete, all the things I'm interested in, they're all great and I love them to death. But I get into it, and like there are inks that I think about during the day that get me stoked. Inks. Peg and All actually make an ink, gunmetal or something epic. Stay tuned. So that's the back pocket, those fountain pens. I may as well just show you them now. Like we're there. We're there. I'll just show you the one I use the most. This is the TWSBI Eco extra fine point fountain pen. This is a very fine point fountain pen. I like it for several reasons. Reason number 1, the sound. When it scrapes across the paper, it sounds as if it's carving and cutting into the paper, and the sound it makes is so incredibly satisfying that I write with this solely to be soothed as I'm using it because it is phenomenal. The sound, and if you use this, if you know, you know. It's great. Secondly, I love the extra fine point because I can fit more on a page, and that goes into the third point. I can write neater because being so extra fine, it really highlights my mistakes. And because I'm into handwriting and I've always really been focused on wanting to have great handwriting and practice and constantly get better, seeing all those mistakes with an extra fine fountain pen, they really stand out, and I know where I need to work. My sister and I have a laugh about it because we both buy workbooks to trace over Spencerian script to get better at handwriting. It's a lost art. People don't care anymore. I still care. Favorite pen. Favorite fountain pen. My favorite pen is all the way back here at the beginning. We've talked about these before. The Uniball Signo DX. This is the only pen I buy. I have it in black, I have it in blue, and I have boxes of these, and I go through them and I grab another one, and on and on and on we go. I will link all of these in the description so you can find stuff. This pen was given, my mom gave me this pen, also a huge nerd. She loves stationery. Like my whole family, we're all just giant nerds. This is a .25. This is one of the thinnest pens that I've ever written with. It is so good. It's from Pentel and it's the Slicey, S-L-I-C-C-I. Anyways, the barrel of it is a little weird, so I don't use it all the time, but I keep it in there because there are moments where I need that. You saw me writing on a typewriter on a tiny little card. Sometimes I like using these micron pens on those cards and drawing little pictures, or I give them to the kids and let them draw little pictures on those little cards. And they're really, really fun to use. These are great. I keep a 005, a 01, and a 02. So they are the smallest pens with the most fine point felt tip markers that you can buy that I know of. Like it says it all in the name, micron. Like it's wild how small you can get. So small that I actually use magnifying glasses that belong to my father to draw on these cards. I'm not kidding. I'll show you. Those stay in my bag with the Sundac right next to each other. These belong to my dad, and they're great because I put them in this case I found on Amazon, but I always have the memory of walking downstairs and my dad would be in the shop and he'd have his apron on making guitars, and I always be like, "What's up, man?" And he would turn off his machines and look up, and his eyes always looked huge because he had these magnifiers on, but he'd look up and be like, "Oh, hey, Pete." And I've always remembered that visual. So these were just sitting on his bench the last time I was over, and I stole them because I need them. So I took them from my dad, and they're wild because I probably look wild, but like you can see things so unbelievably close with these. So when I'm getting down to draw these tiny little pictures on this tiny little piece of paper, because that's what I do with my free time, they work so good. You can really just get in there with the details, and it's unbelievable, really. I would put these in this Sundac, but because it's waxed canvas, I don't want like a weird residue on the lenses. I could put them this way, and they are protected because the flap comes over, but I still don't want to roll stuff on top of them and squish them. If they were mine, I would do it, but they're my dad's and they're special to me. So just in case, I keep them in this little hard shell clam, slim, low profile glasses case I bought on Amazon for like $8. Gold Sharpie. Why gold Sharpie? Because I like to have it if I need to write my number on the back of my business card. I made business cards that don't have my phone number on them for obvious reasons, but also sometimes I just want to give someone my business card because it has my social media and my website, which is what I want people to see, and I don't necessarily want to talk to them. So I can just give them my card and all the info is there that I'm comfortable with them having. Keep one in that folder. Oh. All the details I'm comfortable with you having are here, and then on the back, there's like literally nothing. There's just space to write whatever I want. So if I want to write my phone number on it, it looks really good with the gold Sharpie. So that is how I do it with business cards. I guess it's technically kind of called like a calling card. And that is why I keep the gold Sharpie. It's also cool if like, sometimes I'm coming out of the cafe and like a fan is waiting, someone from my audience is waiting, they want me to sign a hat or something, sign a pirate hat. The gold always looks good on a hat or a deck of cards, or I've signed cameras before. It's crazy. I've actually signed people's physical cameras. And if you have a gold Sharpie for that, you are a hero. And I love to do it. So if you ever see me, you want me to sign something, just know I got what you need. I am dialed. I got you. I'll sign your shirt, I'll sign your face. I'll do it. My friend Peter Andrew brought me back this pencil from a hotel, maybe in Sweden, I think. I can't pronounce it. I used it to sign all the bucket shot prints of the Eclipse, and it's special to me. So it's now been designated as my official like Peter McKinnon archival print signature pencil. I use this one. It's funny how little things just mean, like a pencil means a lot to me, and I like that. I like that he was thinking of me there. He also brought me the one beside it, which is an old pencil. I don't even know what it is. It's an old mechanical pencil, but right here, it's very cool because it says property of the US government. I guess they branded their own pencils, which is kind of rad. I don't use it, but I like it, so I keep it in there. The next three things are brush pens, also made by Pentel, but these are brush pens, so they look great with calligraphy, but I like red, green, and yellow because when I'm doing to-do lists, if I didn't get it done, I can mark it in red. If I did, I can mark it in green. If I'm halfway, I can mark it in yellow. So I find these three colors complement task-driven things, and they work very well for checking boxes and striking stuff, and they look great if you try to handwrite with them too, if you can use a brush pen well. And then right in the very front is a knife that was given to me from my friend Christian Watson, who runs a brand called 1924 US. Incredible brand, incredible guy, incredible artist. Everything he does oozes aesthetic, and that's why I keep it in here, because it reminds me of him, and it reminds me to push myself, because I'm just a huge fan of his brand. Spoiler alert, we've got a collaboration coming out with Pete's Pirate Life that's gonna blow minds. Very excited. But he sent me this cool Japanese handmade knife faceted with like a rivet here. It's so sick. One side says faith, the other side says honor. It looks like a mini samurai. It's unreal. And as you know, I am a fan of knives, but I've used it to score pages out of a notebook mostly. I also just keep it in here because it fits and it looks cool and it's part of the aesthetic and it makes me happy. So that's why. I have my own knives with Pete's Pirate Life that we manufacture. I could keep one of those in here, but this is just small enough. It fits the aesthetic, and I love that my friend made it, and I love that it was gifted. If you enjoy the instruments that you play, the gear that you use, if you just look at them and admire them for how they're made or what they stand for or who gave them to you, it makes the task that they enable you to do just so much better, so much more joyful. And this pouch in and of itself makes everything that it holds more joyful. I look at it and I just makes me happy. So let's get to the zippered pouch. And this video is brought to you by Squarespace. If you have a product to sell and you've made something and you need a place where people can find it and actually pay you money and you can make a good living, it starts with a website. If you have photos you want people to see and a gallery you want to promote, it starts with a website. If you want to sell prints as a photographer, it starts with the website. If you need your clients to log in and review the footage or see the photos that you've taken for them and you want it to be password protected and professional and look legit, it starts with the website. And you can do that with Squarespace, and you can do it all in less than a day. I've told the story before, but I revamped my website recently because it was massively lacking the fact that I was a photographer. Over the years, I slacked and didn't update it and didn't put any care into it until recently. I changed all of that. It took me one day to make this site the way it is. It displays my photos, it has client sections that are protected by passwords, it's got my contact information, an up-to-date representation of my work and what I can do as a photographer, where to find me on social media, and all those things are absolutely necessary in today's landscape of the internet. With all of the inclusion now of AI, Squarespace have adapted that as well to help you make the website faster by really honing in on your interests and what makes you you and how to translate that to the web. We've talked about things like customer service, templates, refreshing templates, award-winning templates, all of those things you know, and it's just time to execute. By this time tomorrow, you could be up and running. And you can save 10% off by entering the code McKinnon at checkout. So thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Click the link in my bio, sign up. Even if you just make a one page with an email contact form, you need somewhere for people to find you. And it starts here. Bam, that felt good. That felt good. In the zippered pouch, which you may have seen from the intro, first and foremost is this little old school vintage aspirin tablet tin. Now, Peg and all are unbelievable at sourcing old vintage tins. Not something you would ever expect to hear, but they do a great job of finding them, cleaning them up, and then they print this beautiful heavy duty cotton paper. They stain the edges so that they're like a little bit brown and vintage looking. They use them to paint, to sketch, and make tiny little pictures. That's what I use my Micron pens to draw on. So I throw on my dad's glasses, I use these pens, and I write quotes that I don't want to forget. Me and my friend Peter are big into quotes, and sometimes we'll just text each other and say, you got any good quotes for me? And I've just been leaving these on the tables out front, or if I go get a coffee, I just slip it into the napkins, or I slip it somewhere, and if someone finds it, cool. If they don't care. But that's something, along with hiding those mini prints that I like doing, this is right down the same alley. So mostly, I've been typewriting quotes on these tiny little pieces of paper and keeping them in this little aspirin tin where they just fit perfectly, and then the little lid goes on top, and it's the perfect size. It's perfect to just throw in that zippered pocket. So that's the intro you saw. That's the reel that you'll probably see going up as well. But these tiny treasures, tiny little things that bring me an immense amount of joy and satisfaction. I think maybe if someone finds them, the goal is that hopefully they'll feel the same coming across something like that I leave. This is actually used to clean fountain pens. So maybe before you put it back, before you screw your cap back on, which I've failed to do here because it's all blue inside. I'll try and do this so you can see it up close. They're just really soft, almost like a velvet or a microfiber. It just goes over the tip of the fountain pen and it takes all the ink off. So they can get kind of dirty inside, but you can just kind of keep reusing them. So these are actually made by Montblanc. It's like I like their accessories more than I like their actual pens, but that's perfect for the zippered pouch, and it cleans off the nibs of your pens, which I clean anyway when I refill them with ink. One of the last things I have in here, this is a tiny tape measure made of brass, which is actually much longer at 35 inches than you would expect, but it comes in handy so often when you just need to measure something. That about wraps up all the things I keep. Oh, there's one more thing in here. Almost forgot. Two more things. Lead for the mechanical pencil, of course, a necessity. Have to have that in there. And the last thing I keep in here is a coin that we made with Pete's Pirate Life. If you hear me talking about that and you're new here, or you don't know what that is, I'll link that below as well. I run a separate company that kind of focuses on everyday carry and items like that and tools and stuff. We also make like challenge coins and keepsakes and little trinkets and fun things that just get me fired up. And this was one of the things that we made. And we made them in abundance because the idea of this little coin was to leave at places for people to find. That's a theme. If you've noticed that, I love leaving little treasures for other people to discover as well. And on the back of this coin, it says, the best things in life aren't things. So it's a little bit of a reminder that I think is cool. This one got super patinaed and oxidized, which looks amazing now. But I love the quote. I love what it stands for. And it's a great reminder. And I keep it in there so that when I see it, I remember the best things in life aren't things. And it kind of, the inspiration behind leaving trinkets or tokens or mementos, photos, quotes, coins, it stems kind of from street art. And my first experience with that was running around with my friend Jamie D. Grant, who is a magician and a paramedic out of BC. And he's actually got the world record, the Guinness World Record for sealing a brand new deck of bicycle playing cards inside an unaltered Avalon milk bottle. And that was his thing. And he would leave those and call them bottle drops. And he would leave them for people to find. And when we would go to different magic conventions, yes, they exist. We didn't run through brick walls to get there, although that would have been sick. We would meet up and go out and explore the place we were staying, be it that it was Vancouver or Las Vegas or somewhere in Europe. And we would leave bottles places for people to find. And it was kind of like his version of street art, because he was also inspired by artists that were doing that kind of thing, by putting their art out into the world to be experienced and enjoyed by someone at some time unknown to you. So this was kind of my way of doing that, was leaving pirate coins and making little notes and photos and stuff that people would find very interesting. So that is why we made these, and I absolutely cannot get enough of them because they're beautiful. And that is the last thing in my pouch. Obviously, we didn't touch on the journal. That is the biggest item in here. These are the 1917 journals made by the company Look Term. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they are my favorite. And the graph paper ones, soft cover, also have a pocket in the back where I keep things that I don't want to forget. And this journal fits perfectly in the back. So a moleskin would fit there as well. Peg and All also make their own journals. And I'm just seeing now that I had no idea this was in here. This is a notepad from Chateau Marmont in Hollywood. I didn't even know that was there. Fun. I love that. But they do make their own notebooks and sketchbooks and stuff that fit in these slots as well. So I will link to this below. The Sundac by Peg and All comes with a price tag. I think it's like $200, $250, but it is worth it. And it is one of my favorite items, and I will have it forever. And when you're done, this folds down, this folds over, that all folds in on itself, flap it up. Leather strap comes through, that buckle bites it really nice. And it just bundles the whole thing, and I toss that straight into my bag. Done. So that is not a video you expected to see today, but it is something that absolutely fires me up, and it is an essential piece of gear. If I was to do one of those 10 items I can't live without videos, let me know if you want to see that. This would absolutely make it in to the 10 things I can't live without. So that's it. So thanks for watching this video. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring it. I appreciate you guys being here. Hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. It helps the channel. So if you aren't subscribed, hit the button, hit the bell, get notified when I upload. It helps me. It helps all creators across the platform. It takes 2 seconds. I very much appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, more photo-related content, more productivity, journals, vlogging, all the things I have in mind, all the things I've done in the past, and all the things I plan to do in the future, subscribe. I appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. I also got to show you this top-down rig. This whole setup I've done is quite something. Office tour, desk tour, office camera setup thing, add it to the list. I'll write it down. Don't forget.